Alright, welcome back to the channel. We got race cars and we got more race cars. So Ed's over here wet sanding and buffing on the Fox body, and we are going to bang out this other job real fast. So I'm gonna flip you around and show you what we got. You probably already can tell what we got. We got little kid race cars, big boy race cars. Let me flip you around. So we got a go-kart body in, and we are gonna scuff this down. So I struck up a deal with a local racer and doing all of his bodies. Hopefully this thing works out and we can continue doing all of them. This is going to basically be like a trial run. He's paying me, of course, but I mean, you know, hopefully he doesn't hate the work, and hopefully me and him can continue doing a bunch of these, because this is very beneficial to me and him both. So these things normally, if you don't know, I learned a couple interesting points about these, is that when they purchase these bodies, they actually normally come about 3 bodies per box. I can't remember the exact numbers that he pays, so I'm not going to put that out there because I'll probably say it wrong. But I struck a deal with him on every single one painting them. So he said that these, a lot of times, they get ran for one weekend and then they pretty much get demolished. And then we're going to have to basically paint another one for the next weekend. That, you know, all the bumping and grinding, they get tore up pretty quick. Not always, but most of the time. So we're going to come through these. I have priced him an extremely low you know, price for what most shops would want to even paint these items. And but the catch here is that there's no prep work. So this is how he brought them to me. We are going to scuff them with soap and water, Scotch-Brite pad. We're going to put them in the booth and we're going to shoot them. So we're not worrying about no trash in them, you know, no nibbing anything afterwards, no wet sanding, no buffing, no fixing flaws, no nothing. Literally scuff them, spray them. He's going to put them on, take them to the track, and he's going to bang these things up and destroy them. So we've got a pretty cool paint scheme that we're going to put on this thing. We're going to try something out new, and I will go over that in a second, but let me get these all scuffed out. All right, so we got our pieces scuffed down, got them in the booth. Step 1, wax and grease remover. So make sure you wipe these things down really good. Spray your wax and grease remover on, and then wipe it off. Any wax and grease remover work. The Fox body video where we painted the fenders and the doors, we will be going over what I use. So I'm gonna get this wiped on and then get to shooting. Well, that didn't go as planned. So here is our paint we were going to use. Can't use it. We're going to try this. So I had shot the Fox body this morning and I hauled tail out of here, went to lunch. I took the head off the gun, threw it in the cup, and filled it up with paint thinner. That way my head is sitting in paint thinner the whole entire lunch break, so it doesn't clog up. That way I can come right back in here, empty it all out. I didn't even think, and I took my paint, poured it straight in there, walked in the booth with it, went to, you know, I seen the gun out the corner of my eye in my hand and seen that the head wasn't on it, remembered that the head was in there. So now that paint has that much paint thinner in it, plus paint, plus it had a head floating around in it. So that paint is, I don't trust it. I don't want to put that on a customer job. It's just got a little paint thinner in it. Paint thinner is pretty much like reducer. So it's not going to cause any issue. If it was mine, then I would have rocked and rolled with it. You know, I would have got the head of the gun out of it, rocked and roll with it. But that's not how I do customer jobs. My mistake. So customer didn't have a certain color. He didn't really care. So this is what we're going to go with now. So any dark gray was his request. So we're just burning some stuff up. So here is this new color. So we'll see what this looks like. I actually like this better. It looks like it's going to be a lot darker. So we will put this in here and we will go shoot this color Yeah, I think that's going to be closer to like the blackish dark gray, which is way better than the silver side because of what we're going over this with. But it's still like a charcoal dark gray. So we'll see what it looks like. If it don't look good whenever it actually hits the body of the go-kart, then I'll change it and go over top of it with something else. Alright, for our next step, we are going to mix up our clear. Now, the clear we're using is this Norbin. This is a cheaper clear. This is a go-kart, okay? It gets smashed up. We're not using some expensive clear that's going to, you know, run up the customer's bill. The customer, when they come to me, they were looking for something that was affordable, you know, that we could hopefully do, you know, all of his go-kart bodies. And so I told him that, yeah, we can work something out. I love doing this stuff. The Norbin clear coat is not that bad. I think it's like $80 or $90 a gallon. You know, we could do a couple go-kart bodies with a gallon of it. So that works out pretty much on this one. You've got other material, obviously, but your material bill on this level of job is almost about half of what you're getting paid for. So this is not a killer job. You're not doing this to make money. You're kind of just doing this to have fun and just put a little bit of cash. This is one of these jobs that the cash that I make off of this job does go into my car. So I'm very motivated to do these kinds of small projects for people, less than other shops will do, because a lot of shops don't want to do small projects because of, you know, it's small. So then people think that, oh, well, it's just this, you know, it should be cheap, when really it's the material that costs so freaking much. So what we are shooting over this is a paintwithpearl.com. There's the website. Okay. Pink metal flake. I think this is going to be a mini flake, I believe. When we did the golf cart body, if you look at the golf cart body we did for Chris Kenny, the owner of the Night Train, the drag car, we had to cut and buff it because you know, it looked like there was trash in it. I'm going to have to cut that with a razor blade. It looked like there was trash in it. And obviously on something like this, we can't cut and buff it. That would be absolutely crazy. So all over your fingers. If you watched the golf cart body, then you know that you need to go ahead and tell your wife or your girlfriend that you were painting with pink pearl today or pink metallic flakes, because she's not going to believe you if you come home with your fingers looking like this, probably. Mine will believe me because she knows I'm a painter, but yours might not. So on his, we had to cut and buff and reflow coat it because it makes it look like there's trash in the clear. On this one, we are not, we're not doing that. We're not going to be recoating this because of the price point. So normally what you would do is just hold your container over your clear coat and then just, you know, scoop a little bit of pearl in it at a time, or flake however much you want. We're going to start small on this one so we don't get crazy with it. And I'm not going to stick that in the clear because I might need to come back and add that. We're going to go in the booth and see what this looks like laid over that. We're just going to dust coat this layer on. We're using our clear coat as a binding agent, you know, or a transparent base coat. They do make transparent base coats. We went over all of that information in depth in the golf cart video. So if you go back a few videos on our page, you'll see a picture of the night train with the golf cart. That one goes in depth on metal flake. So this one we're not going to go as in depth. You cannot strain this with a filter because, let's see here, make sure this is mixed up, because it will just clog up the filter. So we're going to put this in, we're going to go in here, we're going to dust coat this over it and see what kind of, you know, it looks like, and if we need to add more, we'll come back and add more. Now what we do is we just sit here and wait for the customer to respond to the text message where you send them a video of how much flake you want on the body, and they don't message right back. Y'all want to hang out with me and just wait? Let's see what Ed's doing. He's over there texting, it looks like. It's supposed to be wet sanding, man. He is, he's over there on the freaking phone. They say time's money, so I guess my man's knows that I'm not billing by the hour. He better be happy I'm not billing by the hour, because right now I'm just running an idle. Y'all can hang out as long as y'all want. Get comfortable, because it might be a minute. My man done left me on read in Dairy Queen trying to get ice cream with the phone in the vehicle while I'm sitting here trying to shoot flake. Let's see here, he just texted me. He said, that's good, let's move forward. Let's sling some clear, baby. So we got these parts painted for this go-kart body. Let me bring you in here and show you what we got, and let's explain it. So there is our pieces. I mean, they turned out looking really good for it being, you know, the metallics and how much freaking, you know, trash it looked like it had in it. It does have a little bit of a milky-ness to it. This clear coat is so thick right now and it's so humid here. You can kind of see outside that it's not sunny. It looks like it's about to rain. So it's the humidity is up in the air, which can put some humidity in your clear coat, which can give you a milky look. As this dries, the milkiness will come out. So you obviously have orange peel, but you gotta remember we started painting on top of orange peel. We started painting on top of a gel coat. We didn't wet sand and buff, or we didn't sand anything down. So you're gonna, if you start with orange peel, then all your steps above is gonna be orange peel. If you start like glass, then you can create orange peel as you work up if you don't spray properly, but at least you're starting on a slick surface. So every step's gonna follow the step underneath it. But overall, this thing looks amazing for a go-kart body, I think. When the sun hits it, we'll use our light that simulates the sun. You know, this is our sunlight. It looks absolutely amazing. So this thing is gonna look really cool at the racetrack. And it gets a lot of decals on it also. So you can see this thing is just absolutely amazing. It's hitting a primary color in this is a pink. So it's more of a pink holographic on this one. You know, but you can see that purplish, bluish, dark gray underneath it. So I think this thing turned out freaking phenomenal. And I'm hoping the customer likes it. But if not, then we can literally change on the next one. So I think it's really cool how down here it's like dark gray, and then, you know, when the light hits it, it's got that holographic. So I think it looks amazing. One thing I did want to show is a run. So if you look carefully right there, center the camera, that is a puddle that has basically ran down. So this thing, I was pounding on so much clear on this thing to try to get the metallics buried, and I was successful at that. I buried most all of them. It looks really good for what it is. That the clear basically, you know, ran down heavy this way, puddled up really thick in that valley, and then it ran into that nice little slug. So that's, you know, that might be one flaw that you're gonna get. I'm surprised, honestly, we don't have any dripping off the edge. I'm really surprised that it didn't run down that far. But I'm just thankful that we don't have a run like this or a run like that, because then I'd have to be cutting and buffing, and I don't have the budget to do that. So I was hoping that I could lay it on thick enough to make this thing look, you know, pretty good for what it is, but also not have to, you know, fix no runs. So that's gonna stay right there because it's up inside of a corner. Nobody will know it but me and y'all. You know, so anybody that did not see this video won't even know it's there. And you know, who knows if we will be redoing this thing in a week or so. So I waited around for some sun, and I wanted to show y'all how this hit outside, but Mother Nature's just not cooperating today. As you can see, it's cloudy, and that's how it's gonna be all day. So the customer's on the way to pick these up. I showed you in the booth basically how they hit. You know, it is what it is. When the sun's not out and the customer's on the way, that's it. So we're gonna wrap this video up. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Thanks, y'all.